So today we're going to be talking about workbook exercise 26. That's not what we're talking about. That's what you'll do. But before that, we're going to talk about some decimal word problems. They're not scary. They're just like normal word problems, but instead of using whole numbers, you're using decimals. So I think you'll probably feel pretty good about these. But if not, that's okay. We all need refreshers anyway. So open your textbook to page 41 and we'll get started. Okay. So on page 41, let's look at number 35. So it reads, at a store, Mrs. Lee paid $1.75 for a pen, $3.99 for a pair of slippers, and $5.40 for a book. How much did she spend all together? They've already drawn our model here, but I'm going to draw it on here too. So this model, we can tell by reading, she spent money for three different things, and it's wanting us to tell how much she spent altogether. So it's going to be addition. I'm splitting my model into three different parts for the three different things that she bought. I know she spent $175 on a pen. It's an expensive pen. $3.99 on some slippers. So some cheap slippers. And $5.40 for a book. And what part are we missing? Ooh, bad question mark. That part up there, the whole. So we're giving parts, we want the whole. Now all we have to do is add them together. So with adding decimals, important thing is to line everything correctly up. Okay. I got $11.14, but I'll be honest, I'm still waking up. I've only had 2 sips of coffee, so I'm going to double check my work just to make sure. It's always a good idea to double check your work. Yep, $11.14. That'd be your answer. Not a scary word problem. Now let's look at 36. Emily has a white ribbon and a blue ribbon. The white ribbon is 1.85 meters long. Okay. And the blue ribbon is 1.4 meters longer than the white ribbon. Find the total length of the two ribbons. Okay, so this is kind of a two-stepper, right? So here, just like in the book, I drew the graph, or the chart, for the white ribbon, which is 8.5 meters long. I didn't label it, that's no good. Meters long. The blue ribbon is 1.4 meters longer than the white ribbon. So here I drew my diagram. It's the length of the white ribbon plus 1.4 meters extra, right? It wants to know the total of the two ribbons together. First, I need to figure out how long my blue ribbon is. To do that, I'm going to add this 1.4 plus 1.85. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Lining up everything, I'm adding a 0 to my hundredths place for 1.4 so that I don't get confused. And I get the total length of my blue ribbon as 3.25 8.5 meters. Okay, now I'm going to take that, the length of my blue ribbon, and add it to the length of my white ribbon to get my final answer. I got my final answer as 5.1 or 5.10 meters long. Okay. Whew. Alrighty, and now okay. 37 on page 42. Okay. Here it says Samantha bought a fish for $5.25. She also bought some shrimps, that's funny, shrimps for $11.80. She paid with a $50 bill. How much change did she receive? Okay. So here we're given the whole of what, well, first we know two things she paid for. We know she paid $5.25 for fish and $11.80 for shrimp. So I'm going to draw those two bars and label them. One for my fish and one for shrimp. I don't like seafood, so I wouldn't pay anything for those things. And then we have an unknown amount that she receives back. After she pays $50. So the whole that she gave, the amount she gave when she paid was $50. We know she owed these two added together, and so this number is what she's going to receive back in change. So there's two ways you can do this that your book talks about. You could go ahead and add these two together and then subtract that number, that answer, from 50. It's probably what I'll do. You could also subtract 180 from 50, then subtract 525 or 5.25 from that answer. So you could start with subtraction. So you would have to subtract, or you could subtract this number first. It doesn't really matter. You can subtract twice, or you can add and then subtract. I'm going to go ahead and add my two parts and then subtract that number from 50. So let's work on that. 5.25 plus 11.80, being careful to line up my decimals and my places correctly. I got those two added together as $17.05. Now I'm going to subtract $17.05 from $50. Okay. Notice I added zeros in my tenth and my hundredth place so I wouldn't get confused. I didn't just leave it 50 because I wanted to make sure both my places were lined up and that I wouldn't forget to subtract correctly. So here I don't have enough hundredths to subtract my 500ths from. I'm going to have to rename. I don't have any tenths to rename from. Don't have any ones to rename from. I have to go all the way to my tens place. So I'm going to trade 1 10 for 10 ones. I'm going to trade 1 1 for 10 tenths. I'm going to trade 1 tenth for 10 hundredths. Okay, so traded 1 1 for 10 ones. Wait, I traded 1 10 for 10 ones. I traded 1 1 for 10 tenths. And then I traded 1 tenth for 10 hundredths. So now I have 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. And 4 minus 1 is 3. So she gets back $32.95. All right. If you want more practice, actually let's do a little bit more. I'm going to go to practice 2B on the back of page 44, or on page 44. And I'm going to just pick a few of these. So I'm going to pick number 7. Mitchell jogged, or how about number 8? After using 24.8 centimeters of ribbon to tie a present and 12.6 centimeters to make a bow, Annie had 18.4 centimeters of ribbon left. How many centimeters of ribbon did she have at first? Okay, let's think about it. We know she used 24.8 centimeters to tie a present, 12.6 to make a bow, and then she had 18.4 left. So you try to draw this over there. I'm probably not going to work these out. I think we're just going to practice what the diagram would look like. You diagram there. I'll diagram here. Pause if you need to. And I'm about to show you mine. So yeah, pause if you need to. So I'm going to flip it. Okay. Here, we knew the parts, but we wanted to know the whole. We knew she used this much to, I think, wrap a present, this much to tie a bow, and then she had this much left over. But we want to know how much she started with. So this is a simple one where you would add these 3 parts together to find the whole. This is what your diagram would look like. Okay, what about 9? You diagram, and I'll diagram, and we'll compare our diagrams. So 9 says, Morgan, Annie, and Lucy went shopping and spent a total of $15. Morgan spent $4.15 and Annie spent $6.80. How much did Lucy spend? So here, I'm going to draw my diagram, you draw yours. Okay. So here we knew the whole was $15. We knew that Morgan spent $4.15. Annie spent $6.80, and we're trying to figure out what Lucy spent. This was just like the one we kind of talked about on page 42. Here we have the whole, and we need to find one missing part. I went ahead and labeled mine with names just so I wouldn't forget, but that's not necessary. All right. I think you get the gist. If you need to do a few more practice ones, there are plenty on practice 2A and 2B on pages 43 and 44. You can have a parent check over it, but when you're comfortable and ready, go ahead and do workbook exercise 26. And then this also covers workbook exercise 27, which you probably will do tomorrow. Have a great